Well, hello, good people. Mark Holmes here, and I'm back at the Red Brick House. I left about 24 hours ago, got my brother back home after he worked on the HVAC, got the inspection passed yesterday, and I'm back down here. So, if you watched my earlier video, I ended up doing some work in the workshop, and that's actually making the handrail here. So you can see it's actually got a good grip on it. I need to sand it, and I also need to cut the groove in here for the balusters to go into it. I'm going to set up my table saw with extension rollers on there because this is about 9 feet long. Cut that out, and then I can finish sanding it. This has only been sanded with like a 80 grit to get it roughly the profile of it. I need to fill in a couple of places. There's a couple little knots and stuff that are in there and some checks. Fill it in before we cut it down to final size and stain it. But this is going to be really nice. So I have that piece, and actually let me grab the other piece and hope that what I had left over is long enough for the other section. Now this piece won't need to be cut out because it's going to go up the sidewall. It's not going to have any balusters with it. Let's take a look here real quick. Yeah, I think it's going to be long enough. So we have this railing that's right here. Looks like a little bit narrower, but that's okay, by about a quarter of an inch, but I'm okay with that. This one is going to go right here like this, so that way we have a railing for anybody that's coming through to grab a hold of, and Lord knows I need one. So I think that's going to look good. We have our post that we've got to make over here to cover that and laminate that together. And we have, this is where I was working before I ended up having to get up the road. We have our piece of flooring here. You can see I've got a slight taper on this. We're going to put some glue in things and tap this in place to fill this in and glue it before we put our post in. So that way we'll be able to sand this out and have ourselves a nice looking floor before we put it in place, because it'll be easier to sand it now than after the post is in there. So that's some of the things we're going to be working on. My beautiful bride is wetting the walls down right now as we speak because we're going to be doing some more plastering. My buddy Jet is back in town, has brought the finished plaster. Michael Anthony Fitness Reaction is putting on switch plates and covers. We're going to get the other light fixtures that we need for that as well. So what you're going to be seeing over the next few days and the next week and a half or so is more of the finish. The funny thing is the hardest work is actually the prep work of being able to do the finished work. But it's the finished work that most people look and say, oh wow, you guys are really rolling now. You know, when you have the finish coat up there on the wall, all of a sudden that looks like, wow, you're looking like you're finished. But really, if you don't have the electrical wiring behind there, the plugs and the outlets and the plumbing, you got nothing. So we're going to get to work. Hope you guys follow along. It's going to be another beautiful day here. All right, so you can see we've got the old post actually mortised out so it'll fit, and we'll end up cross bracing it. We've used body filler to fill it in, and you can see this is where our other piece is made to match up with the other post. And what I got to do is just trim just a little bit more to make it fit into that spot, and that'll slide all the way down and it'll be real snug. And then we'll sand it to meet it and make sure that it's the same. Looks like I need to just trim maybe 1/8 of an inch off of it just to make it so it's perfectly lined up. So we'll go out on the table saw and do that, and then we will be good to go. All right, so here's what we've done. We've gone through here. I've started sanding the process in here. I filled in a couple places to give us a nice flat area for this to be bolted in. We're going to screw it this way with long screws, that way, and this way, and that'll lock it up. We've got the other post over here already in there, and I tell you, from putting the other piece in there and all of the construction adhesive, that one is tight. So once we get these put together and get the railing put in between it. Those suckers will not go anywhere. And we've already started wetting down the walls. It's nice. The AC is set at 72, and the unit comes on and it goes off. It comes on and it goes off. So it's holding at 72. I think I'm going to go ahead and go get the insulation blower and start blowing the insulation up in here. And then we really will be able to keep this cool. All right, good people. So we're up here in the attic and we're putting in blown insulation. We've got 10 bags in already, bundles. We need about 3 more to finish. You need to have 10.6 inches to have an R38 value. So it's warm up here, and I'm going to be going back up in here as soon as they get back with some more of the insulation. But it's definitely made a difference downstairs. In fact, let me go back downstairs where it's cool. Boy. It's nice because we have the AC set at 72, and the unit you hear is not running. So that means it's holding that temperature at 72, which is great, especially since I've been up here in the attic. We get the rest of that in there. The place is going to be, oh boy, it's cold down in here. It's going to be a lot more energy efficient for sure. Oh man. I love it. And we've been wetting down the walls. I don't think I'm going to be mixing up any plaster today, but we'll be doing some more of that soon. All right, so you can see this is blown in insulation. Just like it says, it's blown in. And this will give you a great R value. It's sound deadening. It's cellulose. It looks like you can see like newspaper that's ground up in it. I don't know what else is in there, but I know I'm wearing a dust mask. So we are getting this in here, and I can really feel a difference downstairs already. As far as it being like an ice box, it feels more solid. Now, because this is the entranceway, because this is the only way to get into this section here, is to get underneath of this. I'm not going to blow insulation in here. I'm actually just going to use some R38 bats, so that way you can move them out of the way if we ever have to come in here to do any service or anything like that. So trying to think ahead before we have a problem. So we'll get this all blown in, and I probably won't be back in here anytime soon for anything. So this is goodbye. Oh, we are getting her done. Getting her done. Look who we, oh my God. Ladies. Ladies, Jet D is in the house. He is setting the tile. Oh my goodness. Woo-hoo-wee. We got AC. See, Jet just like, I'm sick of this. I'm not coming back till it's cool. So we got the AC now.
I know, and I should back up.
You know,
I know. My time is perfect, Mark.
I'm thirsty too. Look at this. I got a drinking fountain. That's high quality H2O. Well, end of the day, here's what we got accomplished. I've gone through and I've gotten all of the spots where the plaster had chipped. Remember the big crack that was right here where that was the doorway? We've plastered all of that and got this ready for the next coat. See how it dries out tomorrow. I've been working on getting the ceiling final prepped. Actually in here with my random orbital sander, trying to really get into it because some of the places it's uneven. But it's definitely coming a long ways. I'm hoping that maybe by tomorrow I'll be finished with that and we're ready to paint that, and we can start getting some of the other coats of plaster on here, so this room will start beginning to look a little more finished. And now, look at this. Working on our handrail. So this is the railing that I made this morning, and this is the original one. I was hoping to get this finished sanding and staying today to start varnishing, but did not get it done. A lot of different stuff going on, but we have the insulation, blown-in insulation in the attic, and it is 70 degrees in here. It is chilly. It is chilly, and it feels good after all the heat and stuff that we had. It's beginning to feel like a house. So tomorrow I'll work on getting these things stained and the first coat of varnish on those. We'll be using spar urethane, getting a lot of this stuff cleaned up and out of here, because trying to back our way out. Oh, Jet is back again, and so is Michael Anthony Fitness Reaction. He's working on our Bluetooth exhaust fan.
That's not working.
Okay, we'll get another one and replace it. Jet has gone through and he has laid this floor in here so he can start working on the tile on the walls. So that's going to be coming back together too. So we're getting there. We're getting there. And we're going to call this a night. We are going to go get cleaned up and be back at this first thing in the morning. As always, you know I appreciate you guys. And we are out of here.